Genetics. Basics. Genetics is the branch of biology that studies genes, heredity, and variation in living organisms. Genes are segments of DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, that contain the instructions for building and maintaining an organism. They determine an organism's traits such as eye color, height, and susceptibility to certain diseases. DNA and genetic material. DNA is the molecule that carries genetic information in all living organisms. It consists of two strands twisted into a double helix structure, with each strand made up of nucleotides containing a sugar phosphate backbone and nitrogenous bases: adenine, thymine, cytosine, and guanine. The sequence of these bases forms the genetic code that determines the characteristics of an organism. 3. Inheritance patterns. A. Dominant and recessive traits. Inheritance patterns are often described in terms of dominant and recessive traits. Dominant traits are expressed when at least one copy of the dominant allele is present, while recessive traits are only expressed when two copies of the recessive allele are present. B. Genotype and phenotype. An organism's genotype refers to its genetic makeup, including the alleles inherited from its parents. The phenotype refers to the observable traits or characteristics of an organism, which result from the interaction between its genotype and the environment. C. Mendelian. Inheritance. Mendelian genetics describes the inheritance patterns observed by Gregor Mendel in his experiments with pea plants. Mendel's laws include the law of segregation, law of independent assortment, and law of dominance, which explain how traits are inherited and segregated during reproduction. 4. Role of DNA in living organisms. A. Gene expression. DNA contains the instructions for synthesizing proteins, which are essential for the structure, function, and regulation of cells and tissues. Gene expression is the process by which the information encoded in DNA is converted into functional proteins through transcription and translation. B. Mutation and variation. Mutations are changes in the DNA sequence that can alter gene function and lead to genetic variation within a population. Mutations can occur spontaneously or be induced by environmental factors such as radiation or chemicals. C. Genetic disorders. Genetic disorders result from mutations or abnormalities in the DNA sequence that disrupt normal gene function. Examples include cystic fibrosis, sickle cell anemia, and Huntington's disease. 5. Applications of genetics. A. Biotechnology. Genetic engineering and biotechnology involve manipulating DNA to produce genetically modified organisms, GMOs, develop gene therapies, and produce pharmaceuticals. B. Forensic genetics. DNA analysis is used in forensic science to identify individuals, determine paternity, and solve crimes through techniques such as DNA fingerprinting and DNA profiling. C. Medical genetics. Medical genetics focuses on the diagnosis, treatment, and prevention of genetic disorders through genetic testing, counseling, and gene therapy. Genetics and heredity play a central role in understanding the diversity of life on Earth and the inheritance of traits from one generation to the next. Through advances in genetics, scientists can unravel the mysteries of inheritance, develop new therapies for genetic disorders, and explore the potential of genetic engineering to address societal challenges. As educators, it's essential to convey the excitement and importance of genetics in shaping our understanding of biology and the world around us. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for more.